Hello, everyone. Welcome to Freedom Homestead. I'm going to play with my hair all night because I don't like the way it looks right now.
Hello.
We called tonight's live stream, What Do I Say? Because we honestly couldn't come up with anything.
I said, it's Monday Night Live. What do we want to title it? And we couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, it was all dumb
It
stuff.
was like, yeah, everything we came up with was very cheesy.
I got 2 turntables and a microphone.
Yeah, didn't you say we didn't start the fire?
We didn't start the fire.
Because we did start the fire.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, probably.
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
So we just put, we don't know what to say.
Yeah.
All right.
So how y'all doing?
There's Amanda.
Hey, Jennifer. Wolves
hey.
Den Outdoors. That's a cool sounding channel name.
Welcome.
Hey, Daisha.
Thanks for watching.
Roberta's here.
Yeah, as always, if you come in, say hi and
or don't,
and let us know if we sound okay or where you're from.
Or don't, just be a stalker. Just be that weird person that watches and doesn't say anything.
We like it when people chat with us.
Of course we do, but we also understand because we watch lives when we're doing other things. But if you could just take a minute and say hello so we know that you're watching, that would be awesome. There's Miss Grammy Karen, Homesteading with a Purpose. Hey, Susie, what's up? There's Emily Beverly.
Wolves Den is from Colorado.
Oh, nice. Very nice. We got Amy from Pennsylvania. Hey, Karen's Garden.
Oh.
There's Diana and Nelda from Arkansas. So we've had a great day today.
It's been a good day.
It's been nice here in Kentucky.
Yeah. So
nice and cool.
It's been a good day. We got a lot accomplished, but we didn't wear ourselves out. And the weather has been amazing here.
Yes.
So if you're new to our channel, we're in South Central Kentucky. This time last week it was in the 90s. Today I think the high may have been 74, something like that.
Which is actually a little bit warmer than what they said it would be.
Yeah, so mid 70s. Tonight it's going to get down to about 50. And it's going to be like that for the next 2 weeks, it looks like in the forecast. Actually, a couple of days, it's not even supposed to get out of the upper 60s.
Yeah.
So it is my kind of weather, our kind of weather. We love the cooler, the fall type weather. The leaves are already beginning to change here. My absolute favorite season. So I don't know, the cooler weather, I don't know. It doesn't tire me out.
It's a balm for the soul after working hard throughout the summer and the exhaustive heat. It's a nice welcome break.
Yeah. And I don't know if fall's here to stay. I don't know if we're going to jump back up into some high temperatures here in a couple weeks, but
we will.
But man, I'm loving it today.
We have what's called
we'll take what we can get.
We have what's called a false fall, which growing up in Georgia we had those. I mean, I don't know if it's just a southeast part of the state or what, but
the Diamond Gardener says, please send some canning mojo.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying trying to fill our pantry back up. You guys saw the video where, let's see, what did we do that day? We did potatoes. We did the green salsa. We did the mock jam, and I also started the apple butter. Well, I canned the apple butter the next day.
Apple butter is the bomb.
Well, it only made 5.5 pints.
Yeah, it didn't make as much as we wanted it to, but
we ate half a pint, and then I gave 2 pints away. So now we only have 3 pints. So
it's so good.
I'm about to do another batch.
This apple butter, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
just
amazing.
follow the Ball Canning Cookbook. It's well, what I did was 12 pounds of apples, and then it's cinnamon,
Hey, there's Patty.
and cloves and lemon juice. I think that's it.
Hello, Hackett's Healing Hollow, Kettle Kitchen.
Hey.
Patty's with us from Southern Blast Homestead.
But
I don't know if we've already said hi to everybody, but
I'm planning tomorrow to finish processing those apples because I still have
6 or 7 bags of apples.
I think there's 6. So that's
more apple butter.
18 pounds. No, that doesn't sound right. I can't math right now. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is half of it's going to be apple butter.
Yes.
The other half is going to be applesauce and apple juice. And then some of the skins I'm going to do apple cider vinegar. And the rest of the apple skins and the cores are going to become apple jelly.
Okay. That apple butter was so good, though. I just we could just have all of it in apple butter.
Well, the main reason why, our kids are 20 and almost 17, and they still love applesauce like they did when they were kids. So I want to make applesauce, but also applesauce is a great thing to have in your pantry in case you run out of oil or fats to bake with, or maybe if you just want to let your oils and fats stretch and just use applesauce in your baking. So that's one of the main reasons why I want to have applesauce on the shelf is for baking.
And Jill is talking about her sourdough that she started.
Hey, Stars.
So yeah, that you've been doing a lot of sourdough stuff as well.
Yes.
And that's been going on for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But you've got a sourdough.
This whole month.
You got the starter going. And
so we've been enjoying.
You've made pancakes, which were really good.
And the waffles.
I didn't have a waffle.
You didn't have the waffles?
I didn't eat the waffle.
Oh, the waffles.
I wasn't here for the waffle.
The waffles are so good.
But the pancakes were really good.
I need to make you some waffles.
And then you made a pizza crust.
I've been making
a sourdough pizza crust.
Yeah.
And that was really good too.
Yeah. I've made pizza several times.
You made pizza the other day though and didn't use the sourdough.
No, I used it.
Oh, you used it the other day too? Oh, okay.
Yep.
It was the first time you made it. It was very noticeable. Tasted really good.
Yep. Yeah, that's the best thing ever. It makes such a quick dinner. But yeah, doing a lot of sourdough.
Did you say the Stivers was with us?
Yeah, I already said hi to them. Yep.
Awesome.
They announced on their video today that they are going to be at HOA.
Oh, really?
Yep. They're going to HOA this year, which is awesome.
Yes,
it
sounds like it's going to be a really good one this year.
Yeah, there's Miss Emma. Hi, Emma. Let's see, where to begin? Homestead. Oh, yep. Hey.
So yeah, you've been doing a lot of sourdough.
Yep.
And you've been doing a lot of canning.
Yep.
And you've talked about it with me for weeks now that you really feel the need to do as much as you can right now to stock our pantry back up.
Yep.
And so been making good progress over the last few weeks doing that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are feeling that.
Yeah. And this is something we've been talking about and working on before this month. Now, I know this month is like Preparedness Month. September, you see a lot of channels doing videos about different types of preparedness related scenarios or things to think about, things to prepare for. And so, which is good too. It's great to have that reminder and have a month where people put that in the forefront of their mind. And, because a lot of people may have gotten into it and then got away from it. And for some reason, maybe this month with everybody talking about it, it gets them back in it again.
Yeah.
So
really quick, let me answer this question. Donna said that she put her sourdough in the fridge, went on vacation for a week, came back. There was black liquid on the top. Should she dump it or what? You can if you want to, or you can just stir it right back in. That is what is called hooch. And what it is, it's the fermenting action. It just causes that black liquid.
I think we know what hooch is.
Yeah, it's just the alcohol that develops in the ferment, and it's if you stir it back in, you're gonna have a strong fermented flavor, but it kind of dilutes as you feed your starter again. So you can pour it off if you want to, or you can just stir it back in. I always stir mine in just because I don't want to risk.
So it's good either way.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's completely and totally normal. You want that to happen.
Okay.
You want that to happen.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. So going back to Preparedness Month, it is actually National Preparedness Month.
Yeah.
Like this is a thing. It's not just something a bunch of preppers that, hey, let's get together in September and talk about preparedness. This is an actual thing. So when your government tells you, if you guys remember, Trump a couple of years ago told everybody, you need to have supplies and food for at least, what did he say, a couple of weeks? But it's recommended by the powers that be that you have at least a few months, at least. So it's definitely not something that you want to ignore. Everybody should have food, water, and supplies.
Well, I think, what does Dave Ramsey say just about your money? You need
Cash
to have,
is king.
Well, you need to have enough savings set aside for 2 months of like your mortgage and stuff.
Does he say 2 months? I thought it was more than that.
Was it 2 or 4? I think it's at least 2 months of mortgage payments, and it may be more, but I thought it was 2.
Yeah,
but,
I mean that's a good place to start.
But I mean, when you're thinking,
I would say 6 months.
When you're thinking, be prepared for a couple of weeks. I think you should be prepared for a couple months.
Well, if you think about like a natural disaster, like if you have a tornado come through your area, like we did back in December, some people that were not terribly affected by, like they didn't lose everything, they didn't have power for a couple of weeks, right? Okay, so then. And I would say that's probably average, a power outage or something for a couple of weeks. But regardless, that's a good place to start. Start with your 72-hour preparedness.
I think it was 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months, yeah.
So I was off. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But I knew it was months. It wasn't weeks. It was months. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like, first start with your 72-hour kit. The people that live in your house, start with first making sure that you have enough food and water and supplies to get you through 72 hours. And then from there, go a week. And then from there, go 2 weeks. And then a month. And then a couple of months. And then 6 months. And then a year.
Okay, I'm going to try to scroll back up and find the comment that caught my eye. It's probably, there it is. Who's this? Camden Meadows? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry, but our home, okay. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Between M.I. Gardner and Baker Creek, I feel like ADHD squirrel with a spreadsheet trying to figure out what seeds I can still get. So yeah, a lot of people are buying seeds right now for next spring, for next growing season.
Yes. Yeah, and I do know that M.I. Gardner, they're going to be restocking for the 2023 season in November. So if you are not, if you don't get notifications from their website, make sure that you sign up. And you can go ahead and start shopping, add stuff to your wish list, things that are sold out. You can get notifications when they are back in stock. That's how I knew that garlic was back in stock.
And you got some.
And I did. I got some.
It went fast.
It was a couple of hours and they sold out.
Yeah. That's a hot item right now.
Yeah. And he said that he got, was it twice as much as he did the year before, trying to get enough for everybody.
He was trying to prepare.
Yeah.
And everybody gobbled it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still reading a bunch of these comments. And also just being prepared. This is a great time to prepare for winter if you're in this area. I know we have people that might watch us from all around the world, but I mean, here in a couple of months, colder weather will be around. And so this is a good time of the year to actually check your vehicles, get those ready for winter. You don't want to wait till a blizzard hits and then wonder, are my tires good?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, my windshield wipers are terrible, but I
Yeah.
never changed them out and now they're going to be ruined. But so, yeah, now's the time to just check on little things like that. Again,
I
get that
agree.
mindset going.
Yeah. So Lisa from Sutton's Days, she has a lot of awesome prepping videos. And the series that she's doing this month it's like 30 days of preparedness. And she's doing it with some other ladies that prep. And
Hey, Kentucky Faith Haven Farm.
Miss Carol. The video, I was actually watching one of her videos this morning, and she was talking about how if you use it, everything from what you eat to what you use to run your household and your homestead, if you use it, stock it. And she was talking about making sure you have plenty of air filters, making sure, just because, if you do have a crazy winter, like in Texas, Miss Bessie knows, they had a crazy winter. They had a crazy ice storm last year.
Yep.
And there were lots of Texans that didn't have power. They had no way to heat their homes. And so if you ever find yourself in that situation and you can't leave your house, you want to make sure that you have the supplies that you need.
Yeah. Okay, Bessie Green. It says, winter, what's that? Houston barely had one. Didn't Texas nearly crap themselves last winter when it froze and everybody had, it hit hard and they weren't prepared for it. So you just never know.
Yeah.
If anything, you don't have to prepare for winter, but just think about things that you can be prepared for. We just had good friends of ours, go through the hurricane in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That hit just a few days ago.
Yep.
And they're okay. They're fine. But they told us that there were places that they visited just a couple of days before the storms got bad. They were traveling around and going places. And a couple of places that they were told, you need to go see this. When they went, they realized that place got damaged 5 years ago, Hurricane Maria. And they've never been able to rebuild. Again, there's lots of reasons why. But, sometimes when disaster hits, it's years before things can get back to the way it was.
Right.
So, there's things that happened 5 years ago that still, they haven't been able to fix.
Yep. Okay, so Emma, Sunny's place, asked, so if you guys can help me remember, there is a channel. The woman's name is Natasha. Her husband is diabetic, and she does canning and prepping videos. And she has changed her channel's name a few times, and I cannot find it. Does anybody know who I'm talking about and what her channel is called now? First she was doing that $5 jewelry. I can't remember what it's called. And then she started doing canning videos. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? I know I've heard of other people talking about her, but I cannot find her channel.
Okay, somebody's asking where we were, and I just told you we're in South Central Kentucky. So we do get a lot of below freezing temperatures. We may go 4 or 5 weeks in the teens or 0. We don't get heavy snowfalls, but we get lots of little snow and ice. We get more of the mixed precipitation, which is actually kind of worse because you can get 1 inch of ice on everything and it knocks down the power lines and stuff. So, but yeah, so that's where we're at, and we do get a lot of freezing temperatures in this area. Nothing like stuff north of us. I mean, people up in Michigan and Minnesota are probably laughing at us, people in Kentucky, but we also don't have the infrastructure or the resources that they have to prepare for months and months of cold weather. Again, our local communities need to be more prepared.
Yeah.
We don't have the ice trucks and the snow plows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking up?
I'm trying to find that channel.
Oh, did anybody come up with any ideas?
Somebody said eating well. That's not it. How's this week's meal plans going? I'm actually winging it this week. I've been,
Hey, somebody in Westmoreland, Tennessee. Debbie. Yes, you are not far. Not far from us at all.
nope.
Um,
Yeah, still eating from the pantry though, and some of the things that we're getting from, the store. Here it is. Okay,
She found it.
I found it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. The new room, we're so happy about it.
Okay.
Very happy about this room.
So the channel that I was talking about is called Canning, Crafting, Crocheting Through Life Always.
That's a long name.
That's a long one.
No wonder you couldn't remember it.
Well,
That's a lot to remember.
She's changed it a couple of times. But yeah, some of her videos, her husband is diabetic, and so she does some like meals in a jar and stuff for their bug out bags. And yeah, and the reason why this came up, we were talking about how people that are diabetic, they have certain dietary needs, and usually emergency prep foods tend to be carb heavy, and so
Hey, Mark.
and so anyway, it's harder for people that have blood sugar issues to find good shelf stable meals.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were talking about.
Speaking of that, our friend that was in Puerto Rico that went through the hurricane a few days back, he's also been to Belize several times, and he was telling us that his dad is diabetic, and his dad does mission work in Belize, and he was talking. He said, "You got to come." He said, "You just need to go to drink Cokes. The Coca-Cola in Belize is awesome." He said, "My dad can drink that Coca-Cola down there, and his sugar doesn't spike. It stays low." And, just that one little thing makes you think of all the bad stuff they're putting in some of our food
Oh yeah.
here where we're at, as opposed to other places. But I'm kind of chasing a rabbit trail now. I do want to get to something real quick. Part of our success for today, the cooler weather made us feel good. We wanted to do something. The cooler weather said, "I want to try this out." Now, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm going to steal this from you. Keep talking. I'm
All
gonna
right, so
put the name of the channel.
So what we did today is we went ahead and built a little fire in our wood stove. We got this installed, was this 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
Something like that.
Something like that. I'd say maybe 4 months ago need to quit shaking the table. But we also needed to build a fire in it to season it. Sort of season it. I mean, it's a wood stove, but they said you want to build just a small fire and let it burn a little bit, just to heat it up and get it hot, not something extreme like an all-nighter, but you wanted to go ahead and break it in. So we wanted to break it in and make sure that what we did 4 months ago, it was going to draft correctly, it was going to work correctly. I want to know how to correctly operate this and be prepared before the cold weather gets and the blizzard possibly hits and stuff like that. Because this winter, when we need it, I don't want to try to figure it out then.
Right.
I wanted to figure it out now, get familiar with it, get comfortable with it, and we did. It was very, it was
We were
a good
very
day.
happy. Yeah, we were also, you may have said this already and I wasn't paying attention because I was typing in that thing. But yeah, we were also making sure that the pipe didn't, no smoke was coming out of the seams or anything.
Yeah, it was going to draft okay.
Yeah, and it was great. It was really, really great. Very excited.
I think it was better than what I expected.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
And again, we like cooler weather. We like fall. We love being outdoors, camping. We love sitting around a campfire outside and just feeling that wood heat and smelling the smell of actual wood burning in our house. I was like, man, it's almost
It's
like
awesome.
it's almost like this room is like a vacation cabin that
Yeah.
we get to stay in.
Well, Emily came in here and laid on the couch while the fire was going, and she goes, "It feels like a cabin in Gatlinburg."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah,
Yep.
it does." It
So
does.
again, this is going to be our little retreat from the house. No TV or anything in here. We can just sit on the couch, watch the fire, and and relax.
Read.
When I was younger, I had an aquarium, and when you have an aquarium in your room and you're just kind of watching the water and the fish and the bubbles, it's so relaxing. This blows that away to me. To me, sitting here just watching fire and watching the campfire, and that's relaxing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned it. I will be cooking on that stove. Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
so
someone,
excited.
we did post a little video on our Freedom Homestead Facebook page, and it was on my Instagram page. I just shared it from my Instagram. But someone commented on the Facebook post, what kind, does it have a cook stove? Does it have like an oven part to it? How are you going to cook on it? So you're more, it's just a,
I'm gonna put the pot right there.
yeah,
No, the lady who talked to us about this stove, she said that it does get hot enough on the top that you can cook on it, but to protect it, you want to make sure that you've got a buffer between the pot and the top of the stove. So we do have a cast iron trivet that I got at the Lodge cast iron outlet. What is
Yeah.
it called? The Lodge. It's that place in St. Pittsburgh.
Outlet.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
So we've got,
Yeah, so she just said you need to have something in between because that was a requirement that we would be able to cook on top of the wood stove.
little tiny legs.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe
then-
like a 1/4-inch space.
Yeah, and then we have a few cast iron Dutch ovens that we'll be able to cook in. So, and it's just gonna be like slow cooking all day. I'm just like, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Let's see, what were some of the other, I saw some other questions. Hey, Leanne. Oh, speaking of Leanne, tomorrow is she's hosting the Soup Timber collaboration, and tomorrow is my day, and I am making broccoli and potato soup. So be sure to be looking for that video tomorrow. It is very good. It is very, very good. It's very, 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 very good. And it's one of my favorite soups. Chili will be amazing on that stove. You best believe it. Okay, so Camden Meadows. So the comment that you made earlier, are you in the UK?
What?
Camden Meadows was talking earlier about
Chili will be amazing on stove.
comparing the
in
ingredients.
my garden, yeah.
No, comparing ingredients to American food and food in the UK, which really it's American food and food anywhere else is just mind-blowing. I honestly don't know of any other country that allows as much junk in their food as we do.
Oh yeah. And I think because of what has been going on just in the world, and especially in our country, in the U.S., over the last couple of years, a lot of people have resorted to growing their own food, and they've had to make some changes. And during those changes, they've realized, oh, not only can I do this, but it's better. The food tastes better. I feel healthier. Or
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't want to garden because maybe it was just that mindset of, man, that's not what we do these days. It's so time consuming and difficult and challenging, and we got such a busy world, hectic, everything going on. We ain't got time for that. Or maybe their parents gardened or their grandparents gardened, and maybe they were burnt out.
Yeah.
And that was kind of us a decade ago, probably. I would say so. I remember my parents had huge gardens. I loved sitting in the strawberry patch and picking strawberries and stuff, but I just didn't think that I could do that now. But once we started doing it, we realized it was worth it. Totally worth it.
Yep.
And if you do it right, it's not that time consuming. With growing the stuff. Once you get the setup.
It kind of feels like on the front end is more time consuming. Getting everything ready, getting the infrastructure, and then you go through a time where it's just a growing period. But then it seems like by the time that everything is popping up out of the ground and starts to get fruit on it, that's when you start combating the weeds. At least that's what it seems like here. And then by August, you have a jungle. I don't.
But once you get that system set up and your routine, and you know what works, kind of like in my gardener's book that he wrote,
The Autopilot Garden.
The Autopilot Garden. I mean, you can set it up to where it doesn't take up all your time.
Right.
Oh, by the way, the person you were talking to actually is in Hannibal, Missouri.
In Hannibal, Missouri.
Yeah,
I saw that.
in Missouri.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I've been rewatching the Wartime Kitchen and Garden. I just love that series so much. And it's so amazing to see the resilience of the people in the UK and how they went from relying so heavily on imports to growing almost all of their food. Yeah. It's just really amazing to me.
Yes, and some people do like to garden just to relax. Yeah, it's a hobby of theirs.
Yeah, I do enjoy gardening. I think what becomes overwhelming is all the other stuff you have to do besides gardening. It just gets in the way.
Where to Begin Homestead is also addicted to that show.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Yes, this is sweet tea.
Oh, so speaking of sweet tea.
Liquid America. See? Liquid America.
So I will have to say that we are very blessed in that we don't get a lot of rude comments on our videos. And normally when we do, it's like, it doesn't bother us just because, we know they don't know us. They're just there to cause trouble or whatever. But one thing that does drive me crazy is when people throw judgment on stuff that people eat or buy. I just think it's so uncalled for. And so we talk a lot about the corruption in our food industry. But we are not yet where we can grow all of our own food, and we are stocking our pantry, and it's not going to be perfect. I bought Velveeta. So sue me. I'm just
Mark says Liquid America is coffee to him.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah. But anyway, my point is, we do the best we can, and we do eat a lot of good, healthy food, but it's not going to be perfect, and you will not find food judgment here. So even though we talk about junk, if you get you a bag of Doritos,
yes, I mean,
we're not going to be mad at you for it.
I'm the first person to criticize how much junk is in our food, but then you
also partake a lot.
But then you might see me at work eating a bag of chips and drinking a canned soft drink or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm always staying away from it.
Yeah.
I need to more.
See, I agree.
Yeah.
Money Pit Homestead said you can't make great macaroni and cheese without it. I agree. Yeah. But we do the best we can. That's true. I don't know. It just got me a little annoyed. That was me. My hand touched your leg. Okay. He's like, what was that?
I thought there's a spider on me.
Anyway, so it's like, because we did the book club, Beyond Labels. And yes, I am working with a functional nutritionist, working on my health, so I don't have to have like invasive medical intervention with some of the stuff that I have going on.
Somebody said this is a safe zone.
It is. It is a safe zone. But it's like, come on. They're like, I can't believe you bought that. You know better.
Well, I mean, we have people from all over watch us, chat with us, and we all are going to have different opinions. and you know, some of them are not going to change my mind, and I will probably never change their mind.
Right.
But you know what? That doesn't mean I can't still get along with them.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem with society today is if you don't all agree with the way I'm thinking, then I don't want to have nothing to do with
Right.
it. And that's, you know...
Extremes are not good for anyone.
We can be friends and disagree on stuff. I mean, some of the founding fathers, some of the best ones, they came up with the greatest ideas because they had different opinions.
Right.
And when they got together and they told each other about those opinions, they ended up coming up with something wonderful, even better than either one of them thought.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
So
all right, I chased a rabbit again.
Well,
I got off on a tangent.
now while you were talking, they started going off on Spam and how Spam is so amazing, and I agree. Best way to eat Spam, in my opinion, is fried on white bread with mayonnaise and a slice of a garden-grown tomato. Yeah.
I go to Habanero store in Scottsville, Kentucky. That's the Debbie in that's Debbie in Westmoreland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's not far from there.
Yeah.
And we've been there. We don't go there much.
Not as much as we used to.
But man,
we
we're
used
not
to go there a lot.
we're not far from it.
Yeah.
You shop a lot at your salvage stores. But one of the salvage stores you go to is probably a little bit further away than that Habanero.
Yeah.
The Amish store. The other Amish store.
Mustard, onion, tomato, cheese. Oh my goodness. You've never had Spam.
I don't know, but we always end up talking about food more when we do lives. It's always, we talk food.
Listen, that is the one thing that everybody has in common. Everybody has to eat.
That is true.
It's a universal thing. But yeah, no, ain't nobody mad at you, Sonny, for not having Spam. Or I don't know
what is it? Everybody has a right to their opinion. It's there, not yours. Respect. Oh, okay. Yeah, respect. Yeah.
So, ever had Reagan's cheese? It was awesome. No, that was before my time. Sorry. Government cheese.
I did. I remember my parents getting it, and I remember it was awesome. It was very good. Was that Reagan? I didn't know.
I thought it was
before him.
I thought it was Carter.
Yeah, because
But they may still have been passing it out after.
I know the economy tanked under him.
And it was probably still
so I don't know.
Recovering under
I just
Reagan.
remember the cheese was good.
Wasn't government cheese built like Velveeta?
Yeah.
It was like processed cheese? No? Oh, okay.
No, it was a big block of cheese, but you could slice it up. It was more like the little cheddar slices we buy, like a long block.
So was it real cheese? It wasn't processed cheese?
I don't know. I just remember it was good.
Dang.
We would eat it on crackers.
Because I was going to say, like, a block of that cheese would cost you, like, $20.
I don't know. What kind of cheese
was
it? Wasn't Velveeta. I think it was more real cheese.
It was real cheese. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Dang.
I think it was a big block of, like, cheddar.
Real cheddar cheese.
Yes. And it was good.
Dang. That's awesome. Oh, it was American cheese. It was great.
American. Okay.
It was yellow cheese and y'all loved it. That's what we can conclude.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since we're all being like, since we're confessing.
What, reminiscing?
No, we're confessing our processed food loves. I really like cream of mushroom soup. It makes the best casseroles. And yes, homemade is better, but I ain't mad at cream of mushroom soup in a can either. And you know who makes really good cream of mushroom soup? Aldi's.
They also have really good mayonnaise.
Yeah. But they have started adding stuff to mayonnaise that's not good for you, and I know that. but oil is really expensive, so it's expensive to make your own mayonnaise.
I follow a barbecue guy on social media, and he loves Blue Plate mayonnaise, which I don't think I've ever had. Do they sell that around here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had it, but I think he likes it so much they now sponsor him. But the other day he was talking about how it's so amazing, and then he said, a close mayonnaise that's very good, close to Blue Plate, is the mayonnaise at Aldi. He actually, said that.
Yeah, and I said yes, it is,
Yeah.
because I do like Aldi's mayonnaise.
I recently tried Duke's. It's good. You got Duke's in our cabinet.
Yeah, growing up in Georgia, that was what we ate. You don't buy anything else. But Aldi's mayonnaise is really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. See, y'all are my people. Y'all are my people. Yeah.
No. Hellman's.
Yeah, that's another one.
No, head cheese is not awesome.
No.
Sorry, Jill. We're just going to have to...
No, she said herd cheese was awesome.
Oh, herd.
Not head cheese.
Okay. I read that wrong. My apologies.
That is funny. I like mushrooms.
Okay. There are probably people that have no idea what we just referenced.
You ain't missing anything.
If anybody wants to comment on here and tell the other fine viewers what head cheese is, let's just say it ain't cheese.
No.
But anyway.
Yeah, head cheese is made from a pig's head. Yep.
Yeah, they boil it all down, everything that you don't want.
Well, I make a gross face. It just sounds disgusting. Why would you even call it that? Like, why would you take something and give it a disgusting name? Like, right?
Head cheese is gross. Blood sausage is worse.
Yeah, but see, blood sausage
See,
sounds
now
terrible.
we're getting into some nasty stuff. We went
Yeah.
from what is great to what is not.
Yeah. It's made with
a pig's head.
But
All right, let's get back. Duke's is the best.
I argue that if they gave it a fancy name, that it wouldn't be as bad. But head cheese, that sounds like something you get when you have a cold. That's disgusting. That's just so nasty.
Yes, it's not boar's head cheese.
No.
Yeah.
Just planted my second round of winter wheat for 2023 harvest to combine with this year's harvest to make my own flour. That is so cool, Jason. So, okay, so speaking of that, somebody had actually mentioned earlier, if you guys caught in my gardener seed haul, that we are going to attempt to grow sugar beets and make some of our own sugar from that. And what I am trying to do is I am trying to think, okay, if I can't get to a store, or if things get rationed, or if things that we don't necessarily grow in our area, if I can't get that, what can I produce in our backyard? We live on 1 acre. We can't really garden in the front yard because we have lateral lines, so we try to do as much as we can in the backyard. So what is something that we can do? And we won't be able to grow and produce a year's worth, but I mean, if it's a little bit or nothing, I would rather have the little bit. So anyway, we don't have the space to grow sugarcane. We don't have bees. We can't, there's a lot that we're limited to. So sugar beets. And I've been watching the process on making sugar from sugar beets. You can also make molasses from sugar beets.
Oh, cool.
And so I thought that would be a really great thing to experiment with. And so I'm really excited about that.
I don't even know that process. I mean, I guess you have to boil it all down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You boil it all down. You cut up your beets. Some people even shred them. You cover it in water. You boil it for a few hours. You strain it off. You put the liquid back in a pot, and you boil it and boil it and boil it and boil it. And then it becomes like molasses. It gets dark and really thick and syrupy. And then to go to a sugar process, you like smear it out like in a thin layer, and then you let it dry until it becomes like a brickle.
It becomes brittle.
Brickle? Like a peanut brittle. Yeah.
It dries
like
hard.
the candy. Yeah. And then you can grind it into sugar. That's how some people do it.
Does it taste like a beet? Does it still have the beet flavor?
Okay, so when you go to the grocery store, if you buy a bag of sugar, if it does not say cane sugar, then it is most likely beet sugar.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in fact, in World War II, in the UK, they grew sugar beets to replace cane sugar because that was an import.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's really cool.
So somebody asked, how much sugar does one beet make? Not much.
Can't make
Now, the beets themselves are like a pound. They get
they're
big.
bigger than I thought they were.
But I think like once you boil it all down and then grind it all up, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to make anything substantial. But I think the know-how and the skill is really what I'm going for. And then I also need to learn how to save seed. But anyway, I think it's pretty cool.
Excuse me.
Also, something else that I learned, going to like replacement, but during the Great Depression, I'm not sure if they did it in the UK during rations, but during the Great Depression and during World War II, one of the things that got rationed was coffee. And some folks learned that by using molasses, because it has like a strong flavor, that they could actually stretch their coffee with molasses. So if you use the sugar beets to make a molasses, then you've got that too. And it's actually healthier for you. Let's see.
Interesting factoid.
Yeah, I think they grow sugar beets in Michigan for deer baiting. Most likely, yes.
Okay.
But if you go to the store and you buy beet sugar, it is a GMO. It is genetically modified. But the seeds that M.I. Gardner sells are non-GMO sugar beets. Yes, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really fun. Let's see. During the Depression, my grandfather bought a barrel of molasses for cents. Everyone thought he was nuts. They loved him later. Yep.
Yeah, I bet they did.
I bet they did too.
Yeah, he became very popular very quick.
We like our fried Spam on white bread with mustard, even though we like mayo. Love this idea. Yeah, so that's just one thing. That's really what I'm trying to do, is learn how to grow as much as I can and substitutes, substitute things that we enjoy but might not be able to get. One of the things that I looked into was tea. We love tea. We love
tea.
This stuff.
Yes.
And we don't drink green tea. We don't drink herbal teas. We drink black tea. And did you know that black tea, white tea, and green tea all come from the same plant?
They do.
It's just harvested at different times.
At a different time.
Mm-hmm. But it would not survive in our climate.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, yeah.
It needs to have year-round certain type of weather, so it does better in like warmer climates. Mm-hmm. If you have a greenhouse, then you can do that.
Yeah.
But I do know that there are herbal substitutes for coffee. So like chicory, dandelion root is one that some people use because it has that bitter flavor.
Be right back.
Okie dokie. Let's see. What about the stevia plant? Yeah, that is definitely an option. And that is, I think I actually have seeds for stevia. But I think I would want to learn how to maybe make an extract. So I assume that it would be similar to like how you would make vanilla. Like you would just put the leaves in like a vodka or something and let it extract all that sweetness out. No fire right now. We had one earlier. Don't like the taste of stevia. Yeah, that's my thing too, is I don't love stevia, like straight stevia. It does have an aftertaste. I know that I like beet sugar because we have bought it before. Thank you. But But it would be good just to have, I think, variety and having, things in different forms is always good. Like different types of fats, different types of sweeteners. I think that's a good thing. I'm not opposed to trying stevia, trying to grow it. I do know, like our friend Mike, aka our pastor, he has tried to grow stevia and he did not have very much success. But he said for him it was very temperamental and not easy to grow.
Yeah.
So Jack just handed this to me. So he was talking about our friends that went to Belize, which is actually my boss, by the way.
Yeah.
And they brought us back.
Hey, Tim.
They brought us back some goodies. So this is black pepper.
Yeah.
And they actually are friends with the farmer. They know this person.
They know the people that own this farm, and if we're able to ever go there on a trip, which they're trying to get us to go with them, maybe next summer, they want to take us on a tour of this farm where they have oranges, they grow pepper, and he mentioned a couple of other things. Vanilla,
cinnamon, and some other things.
And he also brought us, this is extra virgin coconut oil. So I bet that's very tasty. He said this stuff is awesome and I can't wait to try it. I like hot sauce. I don't know if y'all can read this, but this is a habanero hot sauce. And he said that it's one of the best hot sauce that he's ever had, flavor-wise. Not like, I told him, I said, it's habaneros. It's gonna light me on fire. And he said, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It doesn't have, it's not gonna light you on fire, but it's very tasty. So I'm gonna try it. We hadn't even opened it yet. And then, I can't read that. What is that?
Golden plum jelly.
Okay, plum jelly.
Grown in Belize. It has sugar, golden plum, water, and lime juice.
Yeah, so a lot of this stuff, well, especially the farm that grows the black pepper and the oranges and fruit, they said that they try to grow. Yeah, I smell it.
It's very coconutty.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, so they said the stuff down there is so fresh and so flavorful. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I said it's probably the equivalent of going to the supermarket and buying a tomato, or you go out here and you pick one right off the vine and just know how much better and tasteful that is. And he said, yeah, it's like that. It's just amazing, the flavors down there.
Yeah. Lots of good discussion.
And I looked at our analytics over the last 28 days. I could not believe that a lot of people from Cyprus and the Cayman Islands and Australia have been watching our videos. I don't know if it's been your grocery hauls, seeing,
I'm gonna bet it's the Joel Salatin video.
It might be the Joel Salatin stuff. It's been going a lot too. It seems to just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Why? But that's cool though.
But we're happy to have
I appreciate
them,
it.
for sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
Cyprus.
So people are talking about how, a lot of them store tea and coffee. Let's see. So do any of y'all, what is something that you have thought about growing to replace or to make sure that you have something that you enjoy? Somebody had mentioned chicory root, which is a replacement for coffee. One thing that I would like to get into is growing mushrooms.
Okay.
Like shiitake mushrooms, or really my favorite mushroom, I like portobello mushrooms and I like white button mushrooms. Now, there are mushrooms out here that grow in the wild.
Yeah, morels. Which are amazing.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic. Ticks are bad right now here too. So the same season that the morels pop up is right when it gets very ticky, and there's so many of those diseases, the alpha-gal and the Lyme disease and stuff like that.
Rocky Mountain.
I just haven't been out looking for mushrooms much over the last couple of years. I just don't want to risk it.
Yeah. Let's see.
But yeah, you can buy those mushroom plugs and then infuse them into logs and grow them.
Yeah.
And I've got a coworker that does that. He brought us some.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, Becky from Acre Homestead, she actually grew mushrooms. She got the spores and grew them in her garden. Like,
Really?
yeah, it didn't have to
Yeah.
be on wood. Do any of y'all remember what kind that was? I'll have to go back and look. I don't even know if I'd be able to find it. But yeah, and then where where the spores fell in the garden, they grew back.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wine cap. That's it, Frankie. Thank you so
okay.
much. Yep, wine cap mushrooms. Yep, that's awesome.
Okay. Yeah. And
Roselle,
and one
very
thing,
cool.
if you do go out,
Kathy.
if you go out in the woods and hunt for morel mushrooms and stuff, a tip, use a bag, use a mesh bag. Because don't use a plastic bag, use a mesh bag, because when you pick those mushrooms and you're walking through the woods with them in a bag, the spores can fall back onto the forest floor and mushrooms will keep growing. If everybody takes them and puts them in plastic bags, the spores are gone too. So
Yeah.
think about that too.
Mark said, what is your preferred way to eat them? Frying them up. I think he started asking about the morel mushrooms.
Morels, yeah. Well, I will soak them a little bit in some salt water. You can cut them in half, let them soak a little bit in some salt water, and that's to kind of just draw out if there's any bugs or anything in the mushrooms, just to clean them a little bit. But yeah, then dry them off, wash them off, and then almost like we're having a fish fry. I grew up calling them dry land fish because
That's what they're called around here.
you would bread them. Yeah, that's what they're called around here. And so you bread them and fry them up just like fish fillets, and they taste very similar in that regard.
Yeah, the first time I ever had them, I just thought it was so cool that something that delicious came out of the forest. Like they found it. And what's really cool is sometimes, I mean, you've seen people find them as big as their hand. It's so neat. Let's see. Rhubarb is easy to grow. That's something that we don't eat. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had rhubarb and it's good, but it's not really something that I don't think we would eat it if we did grow it.
Shiitakes are really good though. I like shiitakes, but
Yeah.
portobellos are probably.
Yeah. Well, I've never really met a mushroom that I didn't like, but
as long as it was safe to eat.
But yeah, I need to look into the wine caps, because if that's something that you can just grow outside and it's easy and you don't have to do anything special, that's more my speed. If it's easy, that's awesome. But yeah, that's I'm excited. I'm excited about 2023. I want this to be something that I want to do, not because I have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to do these things before it's something that we have to do.
Yeah.
But
and I like the comment about, I took up gardening because I thought it was relaxing and it became a hobby of mine. And that's awesome. I mean, if you feel like it's a burden and a job and you have to do it, then it's not going to be as enjoyable or fun.
right.
And, even when you reap the benefits of it, it's probably not going to be that satisfying. But when you enjoy getting in the dirt, planting it, watching it grow, tending to it, and then you harvest it, it's so much more satisfying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, not having to do it because we can't get to the store,
Well, yeah.
or because the inflation is so bad.
Yeah, well, there'll be a whole lot more things to cry about if that happens. But
True. Yeah.
Man, this hour's flown by.
Yeah. It always
Yeah,
does.
put the Lord in your life and everything you do will be joy.
Amen.
Yeah.
Actually, that kind of goes along with the sermon we heard last night.
Yep, he preached a lot about,
Yeah.
some of the many of the people in the Bible that you read about, they didn't have the best life. They
No.
had a lot of struggles and difficulties, but they were some of the most joyful people that would sing and praise God, and they had that joy in their heart that other people just couldn't understand.
Yeah.
So that's very true.
Have to do that to get motivated to wash the car. I hear that.
to wash the car.
Oh, me.
So, thank you so much, everybody, for watching.
Yep.
And we hope everybody has a very good week. And I hope the cool weather kind of hangs around in this area.
Yes. So excited for cooler weather, even if it's just here for a minute and then it'll be gone, but then it'll come back.
Yeah.
Then it'll be gone again, but then it'll come back. And then it'll be horrible for like 6 months. And then spring will finally get here and we'll be like, yay.
Yeah.
So
speaking of food, y'all need to watch my brisket video from a week or two ago.
oh my gosh.
I can't get over how good that brisket was.
I can't get over how good that brisket was. I mean, truly, truly, truly. We've been to some really amazing barbecue places and we love to eat. Y'all know this about us. But that brisket, it was better than any.
That could have won some awards in
I think
my
it
mind.
could. Yeah.
I mean, gosh.
It was
Anyway,
good. It was good. It was
I'll probably
juicy,
try to do the
tender,
exact same thing and it won't turn out
the
as well.
flavor, yeah. That happens to me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just reminiscing. Sorry.
All right.
You want to sign us off?
Yeah, well. All right. So, thank you all for hanging out with us. Tomorrow, I will have a soup recipe for y'all. 'Tis the season. And it is part of a collaboration, so be sure to do all the things so you can win a prize. And until next time, remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. Tim says, let's go, Brandon. God bless you all, and we will see y'all next time.
Y'all take care. God bless.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.